that can't. So like after we do our lesson, I'm going to see if I can like go Google it. I'm going to Google it. And we'll figure it out. And restarting is definitely not working. So, okay guys, so today we are comparing relationships with equations. Make sure you're on our Nearpod. I don't have enough people on there, so that means I'm missing half the class. So let's go. Make sure you're putting your name in Nearpod, whether you can see my screen or not. I have 15 people present today, so I should have 15 names on that screen. He can't see my screen, so I told them to let me know if they still couldn't see it after the update so that I could circle in their name on my list. Okay, still missing people. So I'm still missing Jesus. I'm missing Garniel. I'm missing Karen. Angel. And Santiago. I'm going to give it another 30 seconds and I am moving on. Remember, if you are not participating on our Nearpod but are in Teams, I will not count you for our attendance. So we're comparing relationships with equations. Let's develop methods for deciding if a relationship is proportional. Today's goal. I can decide if a relationship represented by an equation is proportional or not. So yesterday we looked at if a table was proportional or not proportional. Today we're going to look at equations and see if they are proportional or not proportional. So we're going to do a short warm-up. You are going to solve for y. So just like we've been doing with replacing the unit rate, I'm going to show you how to do the first one. And then you guys are going to do the second and the third. So I would do 10. This is saying x equals 5. So I'm going to do 10 times 5 plus 15 equals y. So what's 10 times 5? 50 plus 15 gives me what? 65 equals y. So that would be for this first one. Y equals 65. So now you're going to do the same thing for x equals 7 and x equals 1/5. So this is just a good practice. Marisol, make sure that you are putting it on the screen. Karen, check out what you're doing. Luisa, same. Good job, Jose. Junior, we already did the first one. You don't have to do the first one again. Start with x equals 7. Yulivani, check what x equals 7. You had it right on your paper, but I think you had a typo. I'm like, I know I saw it, so I know it was right. Santiago, I don't see anything on your screen. Jose looks good. Oops. Junior looks good. No, and it may be that she's writing it down on a piece of paper and that she hasn't transferred it over yet, because that's what some of them do. Okay, so when we do x equals 7, what did we get? We got 85. And then for x equals 1/5, we got what? 17. Good. Good. Out. Okay. So that was just to warm our brains up, because we're going to need to know that skill to get some things done today. So we've talked about converting meters, centimeters, and millimeters. You will be working with some more unit conversions. So I'm going to go ahead and solve this one, so make sure you're just paying attention. So it says, what do you notice about the forms of the equations for each relationship? Which equation represents a proportional relationship? So is there anything that you can tell me about what you notice about these equations? Like, is there a difference between one and the other? What are you noticing? Don't notice anything? What is different about the first equation and the second one? There's one thing that's very different. Jose. Okay, is it solved? So I think you're talking about this, right? So this is just saying that here, 9/5c, we're adding 32. Are we adding anything extra here? No. So the difference is the first one has an addition, and the second one is just a number times the variable. Now, for our second question, which represents a proportional relationship. So we know that when we work out this equation, y equals kx, it's going to be proportional, right? So if we're looking at these two equations, which one do you think is going to be proportional? The first one or the second one? Or maybe both? What do you think? Because we'll figure it out for sure in a second. Best guess. First or second? Or both? Or neither? Huh? What do you think? The first one, what do you think? Okay, is going to be proportional? What do you think? Okay, so everybody thinks the first one is going to be proportional. Let's see. So what do we know about a proportional table? Do you remember? It's going to have what all the way down? The same number all the way down. So we're going to solve. Okay? Remember, this right here is x and this is y. In our equation, f represents our y and c represents our x. So I'm going to solve both of them, and then we're going to take a couple notes on our paper so we don't forget. So if I take, I'm going to erase this so that I have more space. If I take f equals 9 over 5 times 20 plus 32. So can someone tell me what 9 over 5 times 20 is? And then add 32 to it. 1. So we get 1 4/5 when we do the whole thing? 16? Okay. I'm going to trust you on this. 16? Okay. All right. It's like I can't hear with this. I have it on my mouth, but it's like I can't hear. 68. Thank you. Okay, we're going to do the same thing for the second one. So f equals 9 over 5 times 4 plus 32. That was bugging me. What is it? What? What's 9 over 5 times 4 plus 32? Let's see. Hopefully this pops up fast. 9. What did it give you? 9 over 5 times 4 is 7.2 plus 32 is 39.2. So we've got 39.2. And then last but not least, we have f equals 9 over 5 times 175 plus 32. What does that give me? That shouldn't take but like a minute. Took me like 2 seconds. 347, thank you. 347. So now that I have my y column, how do I figure out my unit rate? Divide which number by which number? Perfect. So 68 divided by 20. What does that give me? Real quick. 68 divided by 20. 3.4. Well, what about 39.2 divided by 4? 9.8. Okay, so even without solving the last one, is this a proportional relationship? No, why not? Because the numbers are different. Our unit rates for the first row and the second row are completely different. So it's a non-proportional relationship. So I'm going to do the first one over here with you, and then I want you to do the other two real quick. So C equals 2.54 times 10. What's 2.54 times 10? 25.4. Okay, go ahead and do the next two. And you're not going to put them on the computer, but put them on your paper.
We said we should read it.
Yeah. Yeah. No, you just got to figure out why that's happening. Yeah. Like, I am sharing my screen. I just don't understand. Okay, hold on. Stop sharing. Okay, 2.54 times 8 gave me what? What? I'm going to have you guys sit closer because I cannot hear you. 19 point what? 20. Jesus Christ! Okay, let's try again. One of you. 20.32. Thank you. 20.32. And the last one. 8.89?
Yes.
Okay, so we're going to do the same thing. We're going to find the unit rate by doing what? By doing what? Dividing. Go ahead and divide the first two rows and see what it gives you. I think I figured out what I was doing. So when I split the screen and then I unsplit the screen without fixing the share, it allows some to see and some not to see. So once we're done, we're going to check on your computer again. So when we do, I don't even remember what that number is anymore. 25.4. When we do 25.4 divided by 10, what does it give you? Thank you. And then when we do 20.32 divided by 8. Okay, so is this proportional or not proportional? It is proportional. So let's notice the difference. A proportional relationship comes in the form of y equals kx. So just like this one, it's the same format. Y equals a number, which is our unit rate. Notice 2.54, 2.54, x. And then non-proportional relationships have extra things. So like this one is y equals kx plus another number, or something else is added on to it. So we're going to write something real quick in a second, but we're going to move to the next slide first. We did that already. Okay, so proportional relationships. Please write come in the form of y equals kx or kx equals y? For those of you at home, same thing. Make sure you're writing this down. Remember, K represents our unit rate. K represents our unit rate. Okay, are we good? All kinds of equations. So we're probably not going to go through all of them, but we're going to go through a few. So I'm going to go through this first table. Y equals 4 plus x. So just looking at that equation, do you think, let's predict, is it going to be proportional or not proportional? What? Proportional or not proportional? Not proportional. Okay, so our prediction is that it's not proportional. Well, let's find out. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to plug in my x into my equation. So y equals 4 plus 2, that gives me 6. Y equals 4 plus 3. Y equals 4 plus 4. And y equals 4 plus 5. 9. That one was easy. So I'm going to find my unit rate. 6 divided by 2. 6. Oops, wrong. 7 divided by 3. 2.5. So just by looking right there, is our prediction correct? It is correct. It is a non-proportional table. So if I were to keep going, I'd have 8 divided by 4 gives me 2, and then the numbers are just kind of decreasing. Okay, so I want you to do this one on yours. I want you to write out your prediction before you even begin. Do you predict that it will be proportional, or do you predict that it will be not proportional? Write it on your screen and then solve for your y and your unit rate. Same thing for those of you at home. Make a prediction. Do you think it'll be proportional or not proportional? And then solve your table. Oh, Marisol, I don't see a prediction. Annabelle, I don't see a prediction. Karen, I don't see anything. Okay, nice job, Luisa. Nice job, Junior. Good, Yulivani. Good, Yair. Nice, Ruby. Good, Yvonne. Santiago, keep going. Okay, I'm going to give you 30 more seconds. It shouldn't be taking too long.
Did you figure out your predictions? True or false? But I'm glad we get to go ahead and figure out if we're right or wrong. And the fact that you understand why it's right or wrong is even better. I didn't know. Does that make sense now? And then it works or it's not.
Okay, so, and not just in here, I had at home people predicting proportional or not proportional. So when we solved, we had 4 times 2 was 8, 4 times 3 was 12, 4 times 4 was 16, 4 times 5 was 20. And when I did my y over x to solve for my unit rate, 8 divided by 2 gave me 4. 12 divided by 3. 16 divided by 4. And 20 divided by 5. 4. So it was a proportional relationship. Remember, proportional relationship equations come in the format of y equals kx. So if you look at our equation, we have y, our k is our unit rate, and then our x. And notice how the unit rate in here was 4, and when we solved, it was the same number because that's our unit rate. Let me check the time. Does anyone need to go to the bathroom? We're good? Because I always forget our bathroom break time. We're going to do one more. I want you to do your prediction, and then I want you to solve to see if your prediction is true or false. So prediction. This thing marks my face. It marks my face, right? Oh, it feels like it's pressing on my face. It does help though. It's like I'm not breathing in my mask.
On fourth, you got 3. 12 divided by 40, you got 3. So they are equivalent.
It's like if we had had y equals 1 for x.
Yes. And after that x, it really has what number in front of it?
1/4. I forgot to record that. I had turned it off while I was trying to show a student how to get to the lesson, and it's okay, guys. We'll be fine. Okay, so we're not going to do the last two tables. So today we discovered that proportional relationships are written in equations in the form of y equals kx. Examples of proportional relationships. So these are a couple examples. You may want to write them down. You may not. It's up to you if you want to remember. This might be a good one to write down, as well as if we had y equals x over 2. So those are some good examples for you to keep. Those of you at home, keep in mind that the chat box is not a tool for you guys to have a sidebar conversation, or we are going to shut down the chat box. Also remember, if a table represents a proportional relationship, x and y, then the unit rate are always the same. And I think we came in today with a good understanding of that, because you guys were all able to answer that question without me even saying it. Okay, so for our classwork, click the link. I did some review work for today, so it's not ratios and tables. We're doing multiplying fractions. I figured I'd break it up in the middle of the week for your brain to take a little bit of a break. Remember to click the blue to access your work. We have directions up top. Remember, sometimes I give away answers in there. And then if you cannot remember how to multiply a fraction, I put a how to math antics video in there, because math antics is my favorite. They're just all popping up on my screen now.